seeing skin makes you trust people more. But you guys are naked all the time. You're like so vulnerable already. Then you feel like more comfortable to
sharing your problems when you're naked.
What
Can
is
you
going-
imagine like the moment you all take off your clothes, it's like sharing time.
Yeah. As a person in general, I would say that I am quite happy with
You're secure with yourself.
myself. Yeah. But with my partners, I need a lot of assurance.
Welcome to another episode of Men Explain, where we air all our unhinged thoughts.
Yeah, very unapologetic takes. And today we are here with a guest who's wearing a t-shirt that I don't know how to identify.
Actually, I took a moment as well, but I got it right eventually
No, you
after
didn't.
like 3 tries.
This is Sean, everyone!
Yay! Hi, I'm Sean. I was told by a producer that this jersey is very appropriate for this episode. So I'm not sure if that was a shot or what, but we'll find out.
Well,
right?
the topic for today is addressing male loneliness. So I'm not really sure why our producer said that or what she's
Yeah.
trying to imply.
Male loneliness linking
Yeah.
to a football jersey.
Yeah.
Where's Joachim?
Why? It's so bad!
Okay, so when you hear the phrase male loneliness epidemic, what do you think comes to mind?
Most people, when you talk about loneliness in men, right? I think typically they will think someone in their older age who's maybe alone, not married.
Not much friends.
Not much friends, right?
Social life.
I think that's the traditional thinking of male loneliness.
What is the untraditional thinking?
I think now, as people are more educated, loneliness, I realize, is really not just being alone, right? There's a lot of different definitions.
Not just
of being alone.
physically alone, yeah.
It's so funny that we're talking about this today because like literally a while back I was sitting
lonely?
Yeah. And and Sons, you would know this, right? That like I surround myself with people that I love, right? And like you, Jermaine, I always say this. But then outside of that circle, right? It's as a guy, do you then link it to having a partner, right? That's always a big thing. Partner, friend. And I was like, I feel so lonely because I didn't have a partner. You know? So I still don't have a partner, but I'm better now. I'm a
you
lot
choose
better
not to
now.
have one, right? It's,
No, actually.
No, I think that over the years or over the months,
No.
it's just
Yeah.
kind of built up like this image of him.
Yeah.
But I think he's actually looking for someone to like have a life with.
We're on a good path. As we continue this podcast, things will change.
Oh! Do you feel like a lot of your friends around you who are male, like do you feel like they experience some form of loneliness, whether it is physical, whether it is psychological, but they don't really talk about it that much? But do you sense it amongst some of your male friends?
the short answer is yes. But I think my long answer is that someone can be lonely without realizing they're actually lonely, right? And I think I'm very fortunate because I'm very nerdy and geeky, right? And my friends
You
are,
have communities.
yeah, so we're all usually this kind of interest, right? Is maybe a bit niche. You typically won't find groups of friends, but I'm thankful my friends and I, we have like small little communities here and there. But so we are not too lonely. We can just like kind of like
Hit each
geek
other
out.
up. And
Yeah. But then as we all grow older and then work comes into play, you slowly lose friends, and then you realize you have some friends who, I don't know how to say this without sounding mean, but it's like you can tell maybe they don't have that big of a social circle.
Oh my gosh. This is, I completely understand this.
Yeah. So technically, do you consider that as lonely? I mean, it's entirely up to that individual lah. But to answer your question, I would say yes. I do have friends who would seem to be considered under the umbrella that is loneliness.
But they may not openly say it or admit it.
I think because Singaporeans don't really talk about
Asians in
feelings.
general, I don't think we ever. I mean, look, if you look at Asian culture in general, right, even in the media and stuff,
Yeah.
if you look at our friends from Japan or Korea or like just Asia in general, there's always that perception or stereotype in the media, especially in movies or in some like, drama series and all that, about like a middle-aged single man just doing the same thing every day, like going to the office, going back home, eating alone, like that kind of things that have been portrayed in media. I don't know whether that shaped our way of thinking also.
Yeah, because we're not allowed to show our feelings, right?
Or like vulnerability.
We have to bottle it up.
I don't know whether or not you feel that way, that you feel like you can't really show your emotions, right? But I mean, Sons and I have literally just talked about this, and I've progressed to becoming somebody who is super vocal about my emotions.
Right.
And I'm somebody who I'm not afraid to say, I'm sad. Or I'm not afraid to say, I'm very happy. I'm not saying, I'm in love. I'm not afraid to say all these kind of things now. Like back then, yes, I subscribed to that whole like, burly, you know.
But you know what? I think it comes with building confidence and shedding some of your insecurities. I think that actually to admit that you're lonely and you want some company, it also takes confidence to say that. I don't know. That's my point of view.
Can I
Like,
ask
to
you
admit.
for your brief story about what made you realize it's okay to share feelings? Because hard, right?
I fell in love.
For guys,
I fell in love.
okay.
I think it was that simple. For me, it was because like Sons and I have been friends for a long time now, and when we met, I just got out of my first
Oh,
relationship.
that's why you went Zook and got
Yes, and got
wasted.
wrecked.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, so I just got out of my first relationship. So she saw me in a phase where I was single, and then she saw me in a phase where I met somebody and I got together with this person for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was a long relationship, and then she saw me get out of it again. So she saw me in a few different phases, right?
Yeah.
But I think the difference was that as we got closer, she got to see the vulnerable side of me, but my partners didn't really get to see that a lot.
So you were, in a way, you open up to her more than your partners.
Yeah, and some of them didn't like it very much either. Yeah. And I was like, I couldn't do it, because then finally when I met somebody after a while, and I was like, I want to be able to, be this same person with my friends as I am with my partner. And I want to be able to show this same emotion. So I went to therapy. I went to go and do all these things rather than talking to my friends. And then then yeah.
Right. Because actually, like, a bit on that, right? Like, I was thinking back when I found out the topic of this episode, right? Actually, when I'm with my friends, even those whom I consider my close friends, best friends, right? I realize we don't actually talk about deeper stuff.
I agree.
But that's a guy thing.
It's always just
It's
surface
a guy
level.
thing,
Yeah.
Okay, big example here was when like my partner and I had a huge fight once. This was like a couple years ago already, okay? It was a fight where we were like, okay, we need to take a few days off and just like cool off and calm down, because the more we tried to resolve it, the more we were arguing and butting heads and we could never come to a conclusion or a resolution. So we just like went our separate ways for a few days. Like, okay, time out. In those few days, guess what I did?
You open up to your besties and your BFFs.
Like every single day.
Okay.
Like I will go to different groups and like get their opinions and like tell all of them what happened, right? Guess what he did?
He probably just went to the gym for a couple of days and then just...
He went to the gym for sure, yes. Yeah. He had one meetup with like his two best buddies, and apparently they had all of 30 minutes of conversation, and that was it.
Oh my god.
That was it. That's how they processed it. So when we actually had a good laugh after, like, and we found out how we processed the problem separately, it's just so incredibly different. Because I could go on like for hours just going over the same problem with my friends.
You're just affirming the fact that I think like a girl.
Oh, because you do the same.
I need to do the same thing with her. What about you?
No, but it's because sometimes when I feel like I want to open up, right?
What's stopping you?
I feel like I'm being a burden and I'm sharing too much of like, you don't want to hear my problems.
Is it because you don't want to spoil the vibe or the mood or the energy, or you don't want to be a downer?
Yeah, sometimes also must see the mood lah. But also I'm like, everyone has their own problems. And why you want to hear my problem?
No.
No.
I feel like there's always people in your life that would be able to understand that. Like Sonia is one of those people that I will text and I'll be like, I need to meet you next week. I need a hug. And she's like, why? Are you okay? But it's like, why are you okay? This is my schedule. Like, that's it. Yeah. Like,
You can slot yourself
yeah,
in here.
and I know for a fact that I can go there and I can be just as vulnerable. But do you think that this is because of like we said just now, you have to keep this, I don't want to show emotion, I'm a man.
Right. And actually, interestingly enough, so I have opened up to a few friends because of like, let's say, heartbreak from girls and all. But
heartbreak from football or relationship?
Both lah, but mainly relationship lah,
Mainly
right?
relationship.
Girl break my heart lah. It's always to girls, I never open up to my guy friends.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's why is that? Like, do you think that guys are just not as receptive, or how?
I think
Does
so.
it just not end up in a conversation?
I have a theory because you've met my two best friends as well. My two best friends are these two guys that I've been friends with for a very long time. And I feel like if I give them my thought process, their responses will always be, as long as you're happy, you do what you want to do. Or like, she's in the wrong, but then you know what? At the end of the day,
I want what's best for you.
Yeah.
Or like,
but
I'm with you, bro.
When I tell Sonia, or when I tell Patient, or when I tell Jermaine, it's like, no, but you see, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, oh my gosh. So I think when you open up to women as a guy, we are also looking for their perspective on the situation, especially when it comes to girls, right?
They're the experts, right? They know girls better than us.
What the hell do my two best friends know about women? These
They're
idiots
still
don't...
figuring it out.
Exactly. They don't know either. So it's like the blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
So I think that's how it is. It's easier for me to connect with a female on that level to understand it better. And I'm getting that perspective. And then if they go, you should have done that, I'm like, oh crap, I should have done that. Or like, she's in the wrong, but this is what you should do. I'm like,
Basically giving you more dimensions, and more views on that.
You see, when I share with my guy friends, and these are people whom I will consider to be my groomsmen, right? And when I share problems, they'll be just like, hey bro, just don't do this lah. For what? Everything will usually break down to...
Everything will
it's very
solve
surface.
itself.
It's very surface.
It's very surface. I'm like, okay lor.
You just sweep it. You just sweep it under the rug, sort of.
Yeah. But it's a guy thing lor.
It's a
We're
guy
not
thing.
we're not conditioned to open up to guys like that.
If you're okay to answer, what's your relationship status in your life right now?
As of right now, I'm seeing someone,
Okay.
but haven't reached the serious stage yet.
So it's just like...
Dating.
Yes. All the whatever labels you want to do it, but yes.
So the reason why I'm asking is because obviously before this you were single, right? How long were you single for?
Oh man, 3 years?
3 years?
3-4 years?
In those 3 years, right, did you find that you being alone in this, like, in solitude, were you comfortable in that? Or were you really feeling like, oh, there is a sense of like a pit in my heart, or like a pit in my stomach? I'm alone. I need to find something to do. I need to find somebody. I need to find more friends.
Fill the gap.
Yeah, do you need to fill that gap?
Both. So like during normal times, I'll be like, life isn't defined by a relationship. So I'm like, okay, I have my own things. But then during like 520 Valentine's Day, then I'm like 520, right? Then I'm like, I don't
Chinese
feel like
Valentine's
Day.
Day.
Chinese Valentine's,
Chinese
because it's a thing. They made it up, right? So on those days, then I'll be like, I don't want to check social media that day. I don't want to go out and see couples holding hands together. And I'm like,
okay.
wow. So actually,
just
it does
rubs
affect.
it in your face,
It does
kinda.
affect to a certain extent, right? So yes, to answer your question a bit, yes.
Yep.
Actually, it's not just men, like I think even for my female friends who have been single for like a few years, right? Like it is a struggle because I know that sometimes certain gatherings or activities, they always like, double date lah, or like, ask your partner come along, that kind of thing, right? And thankfully for my girlfriends and I, we're all comfortable with each other and our partners to the point where it really doesn't matter. But deep down, for the people who are single, does it still bother them? I'm sure it might to some extent. They might sit there, enjoy themselves, but at the end of it, when you go home, you also feel a sense of like, everyone's going home with their partners.
Can I answer first hand for you?
Yes. It does happen.
Yes.
Okay.
Affects me. Yeah.
I have a rule, personal rule I set myself.
Yeah.
Now it's less really, but back then I would never go out with a friend and their partner, like the couple and then me,
Yeah,
because I'll be like,
Really,
I don't want to lie about
My
this.
God, I love being the lamppost.
I don't want to leh.
I love being the lamppost.
Really?
Love.
Then they're walking ahead, then you're just behind.
Oh my God.
No, he
No,
inserts
I will-
himself in the middle.
Yeah,
What are you
exactly.
talking about?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like that's the thing. I love being a lamppost. Like with you and Germs, lamppost. With Jermaine and her fiance,
I'm sorry,
lamppost.
not lamppost, but honestly, even if it's you or even Joakim, right? Sometimes when we happen to hang out, like if it's me, Germs, and then Aves, or me, Germs, and Joe, it's like I'm the third wheel.
Yeah.
Like I become the third wheel. I'm like, am I crashing this date? Like, should I just leave? Like, what's going on?
You marry Germs, we're also marrying Germs.
No, for real. Literally, there was this one time when after we got engaged, right? Like Joe was like, hey, let's go for dinner and celebrate. I was like, okay, sure, let's go. Invite Germs. I was like, okay, 3 of us. They sat together in the booth seat. Okay? Opposite me. I sat opposite alone. And then Joakim was like, wow, what's your workout routine? I was like, guys, I feel so damn extra right now.
At this very moment, did you feel a bit lonely?
I felt lonely. I was just there sipping my wine alone.
So nice. Okay.
So sorry, so that means right, I'm a little insecure about that while you are fully secure about this, right?
man.
Nah.
No, not at all.
I think it at the baseline, it will always affect us if we put ourselves in that position.
No. I will tell you right now that I am not secure. I'm a very insecure human being. When it comes to relationships, I'm very insecure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, as a person in general, I would say that I am quite happy with
You're secure with yourself.
myself. Yeah. But with my partners, I need a lot of assurance. So I'm very insecure about that.
So do you feel like, because I know some people who feel like you have to get married in life in order to do life, you can't not get married and be single all the way.
Do you think I'm the kind that wants to get married?
I don't want to make assumptions.
I I think eventually you will.
No,
Yeah,
I've changed
and
that
you
perspective
do.
quite a bit.
Also
Yeah.
because I think you are surrounded by a lot of friends who are starting to move into a different phase of life. So maybe it's also like subconsciously.
No, I want to get married, but it's not like I want to do this forever. Like I must do this. This is my end goal.
There's different definitions of success in life, right?
To
Not
me,
just-
to
yes.
me, my loneliness doesn't just base off a relationship.
Yeah.
I get lonely when I don't have my siblings around. Because I grew up with 4 siblings. So I get lonely if I don't have my family around. I get lonely at times when I don't see my friends. When Sonia doesn't reply my messages, I get very lonely as well.
She doesn't reply my DMs.
Exactly,
all the
yeah.
time. Just-
Wait, excuse me, I'm here, guys.
putting
See
it
what I
out
mean
there.
by light bulb?
So when I want to
Basically
meet her
crashing a date.
and I want to say, hey, Sons, let's go for lunch, and she doesn't reply me, lonely.
I completely understand how you feel.
What is
It hurts.
What
It
is
really
going
hurts.
on? Why am I here? Why am I here?
Okay.
Okay, but I feel that picking up from where you left off about how, loneliness is not just like a physical thing, right? I feel like you can be in a relationship and still feel lonely. I don't know whether you think the same way, but I think it does happen. And I have felt that way before. I have experienced that before in some previous relationships where I felt that my ex-partner wasn't really hearing me or like listening or
Basically not present in
understanding.
the relationship.
Yeah.
The
So in
spark
the end,
gone already, right?
yeah. And it's not even about the time that you've been together. Like sometimes if I want to offload something to you, okay, this was a prime example when I was with one of my ex-boyfriends. I was struggling to navigate this situation with someone that I found quite difficult to work with. And I was just trying to process it with him, like how I would process it with my friends. But obviously I want to talk about it with my partner, right? So saying like, oh, how do I do this? And then one day he was just like, you know what? This is really unattractive. Like, just don't talk to me about it anymore. I just don't think... He literally said, this is really
Oh,
unattractive.
shoot.
So then I immediately felt like shut down by it because it was a new situation to me that I didn't know how to navigate. That's why I wanted to discuss it. And between you and your partner, you would feel like your partner is the last person that would judge you for all your intrusive thoughts, right? But the moment he said that, he was like, this is really unattractive. Like, don't do that.
Wow.
So I'm like, then who do I talk to? So in that situation, I felt lonely in the relationship, if you
Wow,
get what
that's
I mean.
terrible.
Yeah.
Guys, don't ever call your girlfriend unattractive.
Aiyo.
Not even metaphorically.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he was saying like this, what I was
doesn't-
doing is
I
unattractive.
don't think it matters. I mean, that's exactly how you start feeling lonely in a relationship and you
Yeah.
start drifting away from your partner. If at any point my partner looked at me and said, oh, this is a bit unattractive, I would feel so...
You feel really hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you will feel really isolated and shut down.
Wow, that's a tough one, man.
What a dick thing to say.
No, yeah,
Am I an ex already?
Yeah, actually, you're happy now. You're better off without him.
Agree, it's okay, it's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna read this out, okay? Because there's this post online where someone said that loneliness used to mean being alone, but now being surrounded, you feel unseen. Which essentially means like, you could be with a whole bunch of people, but you still feel very lonely.
Do you have colleagues where like, let's say everyone's very gummed together, but then there's like one person who just cannot
Yes.
gel with everyone and he's
Yes.
just like alone
Yes.
at the side.
It's
kind of
I
something
think
like-
every
We used to.
organization or every company or group will have it.
Right?
I feel.
I'm assuming that's kind of what
Yeah.
that means. You're surrounded by people.
Actually, my take from it is now that we're in such a social media heavy age, right? Like we may have like 1 million followers online, but in real life, you might be like the loneliest person ever. Do you think so? I mean, I actually feel that way about some people who are very, very popular on social media.
I mean, it breaks it down to the same thing, right? I think loneliness is such a strong but vague term as well, right? Everybody feels loneliness in different ways. Like you said, physical loneliness. If you are somebody who needs to be surrounded by a whole bunch of friends, and we have people like that as well. We know people like that.
Dude, like I have this friend who, like when we traveled together, right? He will want us to just have a house party in his room till he falls asleep.
You told me this.
so he isn't alone.
Yeah, like so
the
that
whole
he
time.
isn't. Yeah,
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's like actual physical loneliness, right?
Right.
Where he needs physical people
like around you.
him.
Yeah.
But then there's also the flip side, like Sans is saying, where you have so many people who admire and,
And
adore
validate you.
know? But then once that phone goes, ding,
You're alone.
you're alone.
I think the scary part also is, let's say you're not someone with a lot of followers, right? But you're an avid consumer of social media. So you're just seeing everyone having a lot of friends, having fun. And then I think maybe the younger generation, they might feel like, why am I not leading this kind of life? But they don't know that, social media is really not
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 all
an
there
accurate
is.
reflection.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like that's a very good point that you're bringing up with social media, because even in a place like Singapore, right, we live in a place where everything is driven by success and work and money, right? do you feel like there's a space where people would see this as, oh my gosh, I'm not achieving that. They are, wow, I can't match with them. I'm gonna be alone my whole life.
Because you're always comparing. Like, I think that's the ultimate flaw in all of us, is that we can never stop comparing. It's a choice that you got to make, lah. Like, if you just...
But it's hard, lah, right?
It's hard.
Humans will
it's
always
hard.
compare.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be the popular?
I mean, do you find yourself comparing your life with your friends or like someone that you admire or something?
I think last time I did it a lot more. Then I realized I wasn't happy at all.
Yeah,
You know
because
that-
comparison is a thief of happiness. Yeah.
I will always attribute this to Sons because
What?
so when I was first starting on 987, I wanted to do a lot with the show. I wanted to like, do as many shows as I could. And then somebody else got a slot when they were on the show for a full week. Right? And I called her and I was like super unhappy about it. And I was like, why? Okay, first of all, I don't sound that way.
She's not the one that took the slot, right? It's not-
No,
First
not
of all,
me,
I
obviously
don't
not.
sound that way. But yeah, so I called
I
her
don't
and
mind if he takes my slot for a week. I can take leave
Yeah, exactly.
and sleep.
No, so I was complaining about it and I was saying like, why? Because I did so much, like why am I not getting the position?
Yeah.
And she was the one that basically tried to break it down. And she ended the call with saying that if you're gonna be very jealous, right, this industry is gonna chew you up. You're gonna be very unhappy in this industry.
Yeah, and I think you're gonna like we do that to ourselves sometimes.
And
Yeah.
ever since she said that to me, right, it's not just been about work. Like I've completely just like I've drowned out so much jealousy in my life. Right. I've drowned out so much comparison in my life. And I'm just like, you know what? It's okay. Like if they're driving a nice car, like great, one day maybe I'll drive the car. It's not like, wow, fuck, I want to drive that car. Or like if, they're doing a job that I wanted to do or they're doing a job that I thought I deserved, I'll just be like, it's okay, next time.
Yeah.
And it's like that.
My God, I should be collecting a monthly therapy fee from you, man. What am I doing? I'm missing out on this commission.
That's like 8 years worth of therapy.
Oh my God, you're welcome, by the way. You're welcome.
But since you talk about work, right? Let me
Yeah.
digress a bit.
Please do, yeah.
Do you think also because it's the way society in Singapore has kind of conditioned us? Like everyone's just you need to work and hustle all the time. So a good number of Singaporeans are just working and going back home and not really
living life.
not really meeting friends. Because I've known a lot of people their entire lives or they spend their 20s, 30s just working and
Hustling so
working
hard,
and then
yeah.
don't really have friends.
But the question I want to bring back to you, right, is does that make them lonely? Because if that fuels their happiness and if that fuels what they want
Like
to
purpose,
do,
you mean?
does that make them lonely? Because again, we're bringing it back to whether or not loneliness is a actual thing where people are lonely because I don't have somebody around. That's the actual definition of the word, right? But if I find complete solace, complete joy, complete happiness in just waking up, going to work, having lunch, go home, sleep, wake up, go to work, having lunch, go home, sleep.
Like you love routine.
I love routine.
And you don't need people.
I'm genuinely not lonely.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like humans are social creatures, right? We need
We still
a
need
little
some
bit
form
of
of companionship.
To me lah.
Okay, I actually think that the younger generation now, like younger millennials and Gen Zs and all, like they're prioritizing the social aspect of their life more than before. I think like if we look at our parents' generation, right, they're all about like work like a horse, you just like really hustle and like, yeah, sleep is for the weak. Oh, but I think the perception has changed. Like people are prioritizing themselves and their social circles even more. And my friends are like, even though they're offered another job, like or some other bigger company wants to poach them, okay, more money. I've had like at least 2 friends who turned it down because they rather choose a better balanced work-life situation.
Good on them.
Rather than like the extra 2K or something. They really chose that over the money and the promotion. So it's like, good on you, girl. Like, good on you.
Let's talk about something different now. Okay, we're going to talk about how guys connect since you're here. And
Okay.
I feel like this is something that we talk about a lot as guys. Things like gaming,
NS days,
sports, drinks, and NS days, yeah. So, do you think men actually trust their friends with their emotions as guys? If let's say you and I are buddies.
When you were back in NS,
Yeah.
did you guys confide in each other, in your bunkmates about like some girl?
Can
or-
I ask you first, digress
Yeah,
again?
ask,
What do
ask.
you think bunk life is like for guys?
Like,
Like, you
sleepover.
guys sleepover?
Oh my god.
I knew it.
You're just gossiping every night and
You
just
think we
at night.
sit in a circle and are
Oh
like,
my god! You know, like if sorry, why did I go full girl mode? I mean, like,
you think it's like our boys to men where they all huddle and then just talk about his relationship problems.
let me tell you, when you're in the bunk, right, you're only doing one thing. Sleep.
sleeping.
Because you're so tired.
You mean you don't like yap a little or like decompress
bro,
by
I tell
bitching
you.
about your sergeant?
Or you talk about the
or,
ghost lah. Either you talk
like,
about ghosts
talk
or
about
you
ghosts.
sleep.
Okay.
lah.
I literally don't think I've ever bitched. You all know where we talk? in the
In
toilet.
toilet? Oh, okay.
When you're
Toilet.
queuing up to shower.
Isn't
Yes.
that really dangerous? Like, people are over here.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. You're not gossiping about anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
there.
not?
No,
Oh,
because
okay.
because there are only certain cubicles, right?
Okay.
And that's kind of where you shower, and that's where you will socialize in the toilet. Because when you're in your bunk, that's literally your own time that you have to yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where you want to just like
You
decompress.
just don't want to talk to anyone.
Nobody wants to talk. When I was in army, right, my music was in half the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I was the guy with the headphones in all the time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so-
My perception is rather different.
Correct. But with that being said,
Yeah.
I will say that we bond over army stories quite a bit
Mm,
during the period of NS and maybe 1-2 years after NS. I think now it's a bit
I
different.
think we've
right?
passed the point
Correct.
about army stories already.
Yeah.
Enough.
So when you first get out of army and when you're in army, that's when you talk a lot about it.
Well, do you still have friends from army that you're very close to right now? Or like
I'm,
very
I'm
close?
sure everyone does, right? I would.
I don't know
don't
actually.
have
I
it.
don't think I've ever heard of Abe saying.
What do you do in the army? Where
I was in
from?
the Air Force.
Air Force. Okay, because Air Force they pangkang at 5 p.m. one, so they don't really. Have,
So they don't socialize.
Yeah,
Oh,
they don't want
SAF
it.
stands for Rarely Seen After Fire.
yeah. So I
Oh, is that
understand.
what it? You see, this is like a boy bonding thing. Like I'm too outside for the inside joke.
Like the whole idea and the whole reason why I'm talking about like army, right? Do you think that this NS mentality that we have kind of reinforces the whole like, you know what, as a guy we just tahan lah. We don't talk, we just do. Cause you know how in army they're like, you
Don't
have no choice,
question.
don't question,
Don't question,
just
yeah.
follow straight.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's also built this idea in Singaporean men that it's okay lah. If we are struggling,
Just let it go.
tahan,
Yeah.
it will eventually get over it.
Right. I think
Right?
because the sergeants will tell you just don't complain, just do, right? Then in a way we get ingrained to it. But
But that's at home also, what? Like if you're forced to do a chore, like you're told not to complain and just do it. It's the same thing. I don't think it's just in NS.
I think now in this newer generation the people are more educated. We
Yeah.
know how to voice our concerns more already.
Yeah.
So I think it's getting better.
It
It's getting
is.
better.
It is. But throughout your NS period and all that, forming bonds and like making friends and all that, and then starting to date. I'm sure that you guys dated during NS. In fact,
I got together with
Yeah,
her.
you did. Did you then find yourself really like leaning in more on your partner and like telling her all about like all your problems at NS and all that versus confiding in your guy friends?
Actually, I confided in my guy friends more.
More, really?
And my reason is, it's weird, but because you see them more often and
Okay.
you just like, whenever you're changing, right, you just like, I don't know if this makes sense, but you guys are naked all the time, you're like so vulnerable already, then you feel like more
You feel like
comfortable to
sharing your problems when you're naked?
It's like I've seen you at your
Your worst.
your emptiness already, stripped everything already, then the bond is like, okay, I can trust you more.
Really?
In a weird
Okay.
way, yes. So actually I was closer to my army bunkmates. I don't know about you, but then the person I was seeing during army.
This is very interesting. Okay.
I know, it's very interesting to me
Yeah.
as well. I'm kind of confused.
Ace is just like thinking all the times he was naked in front of his
Yeah,
bunkmates.
no, because I was naked all the time. Like in front of my bunkmates. Like now I'm thinking like, do they think I was trying to be vulnerable towards them or like what
Can
is
you
going-
imagine like the moment you all take off your clothes, it's like sharing time.
Yeah.
Whee!
No. Wow. Interesting.
Seeing skin makes you trust people more.
Well, this is going in a very different direction.
I'll take it back to your question because Sean obviously said that he confided more with his guy friends because he saw them naked. I didn't confide more with my girlfriend because I saw her naked. I confided more with my girlfriend purely because I felt that
Safer.
yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
yeah, because to me there is a whole different concept to sharing things with my partner, my close friends versus like a bunch of guy friends,
Yeah.
especially guy friends that I'm not like super close to.
Mm.
So like my army friends to me were always like, yeah, at that moment we were tight. You know, I'm literally not close to anybody from army.
Right. Because I still do have a few army friends that we travel together and we still
Oh,
talk.
wow.
Yeah, surprisingly. And then those are the people that I was very close to. You know what I mean?
Because they saw your junk lah.
Yeah, we saw each other's junk and then it's like, once you laugh a bit and then it's like,
Why
okay,
is somebody laughing at your
Why are you
junk?
laughing?
I'll let
Okay.
y'all imagine why lah.
You know,
But
that's so interesting because, the Singaporean men have had this shared experience that the Singaporean women don't really have. I mean, when my girlfriends and I travel overseas, like, yes, sometimes, you're not really wearing much in the hotel room or whatever, but
I hate that
But
this is a thing. I'm so
but
sorry
it
for bringing this
doesn't
up.
make me want to share my innermost thoughts.
You don't feel more vulnerable and like willing to share.
Really, no.
Honest, no. I get that, but not with guys. like I get it with like your partner, like you know, after you do the deed for the first time and you're in bed, you're like, you know, you feel a lot more open to sharing stuff.
Okay.
Not when I'm
I just had a
seeing
really
my
weird
brothers.
image of you and Sean, but okay. Just cuddling or something.
Oh, what?
What? Let's move on to some scenarios, okay?
Okay.
These are posts that we actually drew up online. Let's read the first one here. I used to be part of this cycle. I'm in a long-term relationship now, but back in school and after, I really struggled to form meaningful connections with women. There's a lot of research linking in the rise of things like porn addiction, social media dependence, mental health issues, and even lower birth rates to the whole male loneliness epidemic. A big theory is that the internet kind of stunts emotional growth, which is kind of back to what we mentioned earlier. Young men end up replacing real social interaction with online substitutes that give them short-term comfort, but long-term emptiness. It also fuels toxic nice guy behavior when some men start blaming women for their unhappiness, when in reality, it could be their own habits and isolation or the internet that keeps them stuck. This is actually a real problem. Like, I was listening to one of this podcasts recently, right? About how ever since the pandemic, a lot of men who maybe are lonely or, you know, feeling deprived, they turn to like porn, right? And look, the whole concept of porn has been around for ages. Like from magazines, from your hard copy times to your like internet times, right? But the scary part is they then start looking at that as all they know. Like, you know, whatever you're seeing and consuming in terms of like porn that you see online, that becomes their reality. And they start thinking like, oh, relationships or relationship with women or physical intimacy should be like that. But you know, everything that you see on there is not really real.
There are guys who like, because of failed relationships and all, I noticed they tend to shift to going overseas
Online.
within the region to regularly hook up.
Okay.
And they try to fill that void with that. And I think that there's a growing number of people like that. But to me, it's like, I don't think it's good long term. We just continue to feel the
It isn't.
loneliness.
That's why long-term emptiness, but like you feel the short-term satisfaction. Actually, so then don't you think that the stereotype, even in movies and all that, of like the player or the guy that always gets the chicks and like you have a different girl in your bed every other night, those people are actually lonely? Or you don't
I
think
can't
so?
speak from experience. I don't know.
Because in movies there's a the end, then the story ends. But in real life it continues.
Yeah.
So what happens the next day, right?
Okay, no, but back to that theory, right? Where if we talk about unrealistic expectations based off social media, movies and whatnot, right? These players in these shows normally always end up with
one
some
girl.
person, right? You can name a bunch of movies where it's always like that, right? And that still becomes an unrealistic expectation because people who sleep with a different girl every single night, they are like, oh, eventually, you know what? That girl's gonna show up. But if you don't actually try, it's never going to happen, right? And it really is a constant long time loneliness because you're just gonna be waiting and then nothing's gonna happen. I think if you take away the porn thing and you just bring it back to even social media, right? I think it really is a very big problem because you will see all these stupid things on TikTok, right? They're like, oh, if your partner loves you, he should do this, or test this theory on your partner. And then when you do it and then
you don't get the results,
you're like, but then social media said that means you don't love me.
It's crazy because it's forming realities in our heads.
No, yeah. It's very, very bad. A relationship is between two people, right? And getting advice from friends, getting advice from social media, from Dr. Google, from a therapist is completely fine. But at the end of the day, I still feel that a relationship is with two people. With whatever information and ever advice you get from your friends, right? I always feel that you should still bring it back to your relationship with your partner and be like, so this is how I feel. And you talk about it. You can't just take it and be like, bam, I'm going to insert it into my relationship and I'm going to do it that way.
Actually, sometimes, you know, when I confide in my friends about relationship problems or anything, I actually know that I don't really need their advice. I just want them to listen. Like, don't give me advice. It's okay. Actually, I don't need solutions. Like, I already know what the solution is. I just want to like get it out.
Hear how annoying Germs was.
Like, you just need to hear this drama.
Do you feel like your partner is supposed to be your best friend that you confide everything to, or you can have a best friend that is not your partner? You know, they can.
Of course, I don't think
do
that.
both.
Okay, I don't think that. Okay, once again, no right or wrong, but like when, you're doing a wedding speech, for example, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm so happy to have found my best friend and my lover in one person. But actually, I disagree. Not that Germs isn't my best friend, but I have other best friends too, like as in we can compartmentalize. And I feel that not everything needs to be shared like in such a saturated manner, like with my romantic partner.
I agree.
I feel like I can leave that to
I agree.
burden my other friends with.
Burden. Okay, let's read this next one.
Yeah.
I'm a guy in a happy relationship, and honestly, I still feel incredibly lonely sometimes. I don't think most men even understand what they mean when they say they're lonely. It's not about not having a partner. My girlfriend's amazing. She's my best friend, but there's something missing that she just can't fill. What I really miss about that is that brotherhood I used to have with my male friends. Back then, there was this sense of belonging. But when life got rough, those same friends disappeared and suddenly I had no support network at all. What fascinates me is how many men think a relationship will fix their loneliness. But honestly, there are two very different kinds of loneliness, romantic and emotional. And this male loneliness epidemic feels less about men being single and more about how men have forgotten how to support each other.
Wow, that's very well put actually.
Yeah, whoever you are, you deserve a Nobel Peace Prize.
You
man.
deserve better friends who would be there for you.
I feel like this is actually not true. Like, no. As in, like, I get where you're coming from, but I feel like, remember how we kept saying we don't know what we don't know? I feel like as guys, if we don't know how to react to our guy friends when they give us advice, then it's not that we're bad friends. I think we just don't know how to react. Like a lot of times when my friends tell me something, right, I try and give them the best advice that I can. I try and give them the kind of advice that I would receive from my girlfriends. Whether or not they're receptive to that is on them.
But at least to them, it shows that you're there for them.
Correct.
Right?
Right? So at least me as a guy friend, I will always still respond. So like my best friends, whenever they text me, they're like, can I talk? I'll always be like, are you okay? Like, what's up? And I'll meet them and we'll chat and we'll talk and everything. And I think that when it comes to this camaraderie amongst guys, I think there's a perception that it has to be like burly camaraderie, like, we're bros, let's go grab a fucking beer and shit. Like, I don't think it's that way.
Yeah. I think when I look at my partner, he also has his groups of guy friends. Like, and we have a very good balance. Like, there's some days where he's like, yeah, I'm going dinner with the guys, just guys. I'm like, yeah, okay, I have dinner with the girls, just girls, you're not invited, that kind of thing, whatever. But I think it's healthy because like what was mentioned in this, even though you may have found like your person in your partner, you still need your own community, like aside from this relationship.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
And
Yes.
if you feel lonely, if you're watching this right now, if you feel like you don't have that kind of group of friends, like try to join something, I guess. Like Germs join paddle. Oh my God.
Come and
I
join
never hear
me
the
at
end of it.
jiu-jitsu. We'll have fun.
No, he just wants to kick your ass. That's why.
No, but I mean, look, you're completely right. I mean, finding something outside of a
Yeah, like
relationship.
your football community
Yeah,
or
your
like
football
what?
community, your
We
gaming
just
community.
bully each other in football. No, we don't really.
No, but that bullying builds.
But that's what
camaraderie
the
exactly.
bros are looking
Yeah.
for sometimes.
Yeah, no.
You just want to jibe each other and like, right?
So the advice that y'all give to someone who's watching who's lonely is join communities so you can feel like
Okay.
You feel part of something.
I would
right?
say that if you are feeling lonely and you're watching this and you are feeling lonely, I think the first step is to identify what kind of loneliness are you feeling. If it is from, like, let's say this person who has a girlfriend, great, but still feels kind of lonely, where is the loneliness stemming from? Obviously, it's because you are lacking, he says he lacks that friendship in the guys that he had. Find a group of friends that, are like Sean does football, enjoys football. If you don't like football, what do you enjoy? Find something you enjoy, I think the first step really is identifying that loneliness and where it's coming from.
And at the end of the day, I think that the bros, you guys have a special bond and you do have like a deep love or sense of care for each other. It's just that you guys don't verbalize it as much. Like even amongst girls, every time we leave, we'll be like, love you, babes, or like, love you, girl. But I don't think guys are like, hey, love you, bro. Like,
why you say love you to a
don't
guy?
think-
I said I love you to you, to Patient.
Yeah, to your female friends. But have you ever said I love you to like Ahmad and your other?
No, I don't think so.
Weird, right?
A bit weird.
You never go like, hey, love you, bro. Then you like that.
No, man.
Oh man.
Like we had a
Stand there naked, love you, bro.
No, yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think if we bring it back to this about bros saying I love you, right? I don't think the verbal aspect of it is what we do.
So what do you do? A secret handshake?
No, so like
This is the eye contact.
no. So my best friends and I, right? When we say bye to each other, it's always like the standard like right? We're like, hey, see you. Then we're like, give it a tap.
You don't go like love your man.
No. But I realized that after I went to Iceland with my two best friends, basically we were there for 10 days and we camped out every single day. So it was like a full-on like boys trip where we camp, set up the tent, break down the tent in the morning, drive in the cold and everything. It was
rough.
like, it was super, super fun, right?
Oh.
And at the end of it, I think there was a sense of like, we really do appreciate each other more. And that hug at the end was very different because like when he hugged me, right, like you can feel like the...
lingered longer.
Yeah, it was like he held, like we hold the back of the head, then he like tap a
Oh
bit.
wow, okay.
Because they saw each other naked during the 10 days.
They were hugging
The
each other in
theory,
the tent.
see, the
that's
theory
why.
is true.
Well, in fact, we did not see each other naked because we were all sleeping in a tent. But
In the same tent.
in the same tent, but we didn't change in the tent.
Oh.
Wait, did we?
Then you changed.
Oh no, we did change in the
You
tent.
changed
Yeah.
outside,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah, we changed outside in the cold.
So the
Why?
Oh,
For
wow.
fun.
Okay.
For fun. No, yeah, but I think that we don't verbalize it, but I think there are actions that men take with each other.
I can tell when like Germs does a dab with a bro that just confided his life story in him.
Yeah.
I can tell.
What?
Like it feels different.
The way
It's
he
like
depths.
it's like the
I'll give you a very quick example
Yeah.
of this confiding in a man thing. When you cry, or when anybody of my female friends cry, right, the first thing I'll do is I'll walk up to them and I'll hug them and I'll be like, it's fine. And I'll hold their heads. They'll be like, it's okay. And they can just cry there. When my best friend broke up with his girlfriend a few years ago, right, me and Ahmad sat next to each other and laughing at him. Like, we were like,
why you done bad?
As guy friends should.
No, we were laughing, right? And then it was like the, yeah, it's okay lah.
You
know?
laugh first.
So it was the haha, and then we're like, it's fine.
See, this is why men don't confide in men.
No, but that's the way you guys show each other concern.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then now,
Okay.
like years later, we laugh about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I that truly is to me,
Is
right?
it because you know that he will get over it? Like you know that he'll be fine.
I'll know
or it
he'll be
depends
fine
on the
because I know
severity?
he'll be fine because we are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like that lah. Okay.
Oh.
No, I'm serious. I know he'll be fine because we are there. Like at the end of the day, these people are like we've been friends for so long that no matter what, right? If like Roy stays in Jakarta now, right?
Mm.
If he texts us tomorrow and he says, I need y'all to come and see me,
Mm.
we will go.
Mm.
Like that's how I know that we are good friends and it won't disappear. Lor.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was more of that.
Well, it's good to
It
know
wasn't
it
because I didn't see
exists.
his
Yeah.
junk here.
Let's just never go back there again. But,
But so guys express differently, right? Just communicate differently.
Yes, differently.
Yeah.
But no, I think regardless, the conclusion is that we all express it in our own ways. Anyone can experience loneliness in their own way. Even though you're in a relationship, you could still be lonely.
So let's say lah, if someone is aware that they're lonely,
Mm-hmm.
but feels a bit paiseh to actually open up to a friend, how would you egg that person a bit on to like, no, it's okay, just open up,
I
The
think
stigma, right?
there are some people that you may find it easier to open up to some people than others. So like find the person that you have the best energy with. Like honestly, I could go to a club and like you can give me a life story in like 5 minutes, I feel.
But in those 5 minutes, she might be drunk lah. So.
Okay, that's besides the point. But if you identify that person that you have the best energy with and that you feel the most comfortable with, just take a step and try and open up to that person. It could do you some benefit actually.
I think my advice is that if you do feel lonely and you want to open up to somebody, you should always start with the person who you feel closest to. It could be a family member, it could be a friend.
Thank you so much for being with us here today. And I've had many visuals from this conversation I cannot erase from my head right now. So thanks for that.
I hope there's been a positive takeaway from this episode.
Oh
lah,
yes,
right? I hope there is
yes.
lah.
It's a very
naked
positive one.
truths have been taken away from this. But on that note, thanks for being here again.
Oh, thank you for having me.
If you haven't followed us just yet, please do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and MeListen.
Yes, but also on our socials. If you're not following us yet, make sure you do so on Instagram, TikTok, and right here on YouTube at itsclarity.co.
See ya.
Boy, boy.
Ling sounds like I love you in Chinese or something like that.
Actually, how does it sound?
Something like
Erling.
How does that
Erling.
I
sound
don't know, but it's a thing.
Whirling.
Hey, this is why we're on 987.
Whirling.
Stop, shut up.